Teacups, welcome back to Spill the Tea Loo. Welcome back to Teacup Castle. Welcome back to a show I expected to do on a topic I very much did not expect to be covering. We knew we were doing a 12 o'clock show today, guys. We knew it was going to be a transfer show today. We did not know how to put our phone on silent, which is wonderful by me. I also had this has come like a bolt from the blue. Even though we had been linked to Baleba last summer, even though there had been murmurings by the likes of a Ben Jacobs this summer, it still feels like a bolt from the blue, if I'm totally honest. I did not expect it. Didn't think it was going to be happening. There'd been no rumours of us talking about him. He's bloody injured. How a player who has been so linked to our club can still feel like a bolt from the blue is crazy. But it does. I was really taken aback. I've obviously had about an hour and a half to try and digest it. And before I go any further, before I say hello to the teacups, before I look at the super stickers, I have to make an apology to the Man United fans. Because I think this one might be my fault. So first of all, I point blank refused to speak about Baleba this summer. I just wouldn't talk about him. No transfer. I just wouldn't talk about him because I was just determined for it not to happen. And also, I spent a lot of yesterday laughing at Aston Villa. Yes, I thought their signing was quite good of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but I spent a lot of time laughing at Aston Villa. And they've already got no wingers. And then one of the wingers they do have, Leon Bailey, is in talks with Ajax. And I thought, wow, we've got a real opportunity here. Villa's in the bin, like they're going to fall off completely. And I had a little bit of a giggle to myself. Not on a live show, but I had a little bit of a giggle to myself. So I feel like this is karma. Karma has found me and gone, do you know what we can do? This will really F her up. Give her Carlos Baleba, the player that she's avoided all summer. So apologies to Man United fans. I might have to take the hit on this one. It might be my fault. What I'm going to try and do is come at it from a logical angle and point of view. I'm going to try not to lose my mind because maybe something good's going to happen. So, before I get into attempting to be logical and looking for the positives, because I have to, I'm going to say hello to you guys. So, we do have a poll in the chat, guys. Is this a good idea for Manchester United? So far on the poll, we've got 42% saying yes, and we've got 58% saying no. So please do get your reasons for your votes into the chat, and we will go through them. I'm obviously going to give you my opinion. Some of you might have a clue what that is. But before we do any of that, I see Felsie laughing at me. I'm trying to be so composed and level-headed, and it does not come naturally. And then I look at the chat, I'm going to look at the super stickerers, and all I see is Mama Flossie having a good old giggle at me. But yes, karma came to Teacup Castle and found me. Found me, absolutely. Karma is the one thing in life you cannot avoid. I absolutely believe in karma. Karma found me. Me yesterday evening having a little giggle at Aston Villa, who have only got 3 wingers to begin with and might lose one of them to Ajax. And then look what happens the next day. It's all my fault. Sorry, guys. Let me get in. Let me have a look, right? What are you guys saying? Let me look at the super stickers, and I have seen the very wonderful Patrick Lynch has also sent us a super chat, so I'm going to read those out, do those first, because you've beat me to the punch. Then we'll read the news as it is, and then I'm going to search for positives, guys. I'm giving you a heads up. This is not going to be a meltdown. This is going to be us feeling in the dark for the positives. So, all boxed up, unboxed my misery. Thanks, all boxed up. Rob sent a happy fox. Rob's a little happy fox. So, okay, maybe we're not so bad. We've unboxed misery, but then we've got a happy dance fox. So, okay. And then we've got Patrick. Patrick, who said this elsewhere, it feels risky. Yes, it does. You've got me already, Patrick. especially at the price quoted. And let's remember, that's the starting price. It's actually going to be more. Also confirms to me that the board have no strategy. They seem willing to abandon it whenever it suits. Hope he does well, though. Actually, Patrick, I don't know if I need to do the rest of the show. That's kind of where I'm at with it, to be honest with you. It's risky. It shows a lack of planning. It shows that we don't know what we're doing. It's yet again going back to a player that we were linked with in previous transfer windows. And they've banged on about not overspending. And then they're going to starting point is £60+5 million. It's going to be more than that because we don't know how to bargain down, do we? It just feels like a stupid idea. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying hard. It feels like a stupid idea. But thank you very much to All Boxed Up, to Rob, and of course to Patrick. Very much appreciated, guys. As you're coming in to the live show, ladies and gentlemen, teacups from all persuasions, please could you not only vote in the poll, but could you please smash the like button? I need something to cheer me up today. And Footy Judge Mo isn't going to cheer me up at 5 o'clock, is he? He's going to have a great laugh with this. So if you could please smash the like button before my day just goes to some other rains, I would appreciate that so very much. So I see we have also got Damien joining us. We've got Laughing Mama Flossie in the chat. We have Mohammed, who is loving to see it. Mohammed's having a great old time in there as well. To be fair, Lucky is delighted. We'll have to say, some people are happy about this. We've got 47% in the poll are saying yes, it's a good idea. We've got Lucky has been pushing and praying and willing this Carlos Baleba deal into existence all summer. So shout out to Lucky. He has been talking about this deal. So I have to give Lucky his flowers. He's been in there and Lucky's happy about this. So I'm happy for Lucky being happy. All Boxed Up says relax. The quintessential perfect thing to say to somebody who's not relaxed is relax. Obviously. Why did I not think of that? The final boss says, this Baleba news is 50-50. I'm seeing people saying now we are in a title race. This is the profile we have been missing. And then we have the Lou camp. Well, you don't know what my camp is yet because I'm hiding it really well. What I'm going to do on this show is I'm going to try and talk myself into being happy about this deal. So let's see if I can do it. David Ornstein, this morning, came out with the bomber, and said Manchester United are closing in on a deal to sign Carlos Baleba from Brighton. Manchester United's offer for the 22-year-old, so he's 22, he's a good age, Cameroon midfielder, £60+5 million, which is below the Brighton and Hove Albion valuation, obviously, because they wanted 100. But amicable talks continue as all parties work to reach an agreement. Well, isn't that peachy? Isn't that peachy? Guys, Carlos Baleba's injured right now. Right? See, even if I thought he was the best player ever, right? Say I was delighted about this, I thought it was going to be a really good idea. Carlos Baleba is currently injured. He's injured. He can't play right now. He's got something wrong with his ankle ligament. There's a problem with his ankle ligament. He's expected to be fit, according to Simon Jones, towards the end of September. Are we stupid? Right? Forget about the player. Forget about the fact it's Carlos Baleba, right? We're going to set that aside for a moment. We'll look at the player in a minute, right? I just want to look at the fact that we want to pay. We are actively negotiating and hopeful to pay £60+ million for a player that's currently injured. We bought Rasmus Højlund with a back injury. Do you know what happened? It didn't work out. We've had to resell him. We bought Mason Mount with an injury history as long as his leg. And do you know what's happened? He spent almost the entirety of his time at Man United injured. We turned down and walked away from the Ederson deal at the start of the summer because of an injury concern. We have Carlos Baleba actually confirmed as currently injured and unavailable until September, the end of September, so nearly the international break. And we thought, do you know what we can do? Let's pay a fortune for him. He had a bad season last season. I think that's agreed across the board. And he's currently unavailable because he's injured. The reason we need a midfielder is because Ugarte is injured and Mason Mount is injured. Let's go and buy an injured player to stand in for the two injured players we've already got. I mean, come on. Come on. Guys, this part isn't even about Baleba. This part is about the stupidity of our decision making. Forget about who the player actually is. I don't care. This could be Chouameni, right? I don't care. He's currently not available to play, and we want to buy him to replace two other players that are not available to play, right? Which part of that makes sense? Buy the injured player to stand in for the other injured players. Guys, what? And pay more for him than anybody else we've bought so far. I mean, there's only two of them, but you know what I mean. It's really irritating because it feels like really poor decision making on my end. It just feels a little bit silly. It feels a little bit silly, guys. It feels like a poor decision. Just based on that. Even if you think he's the best player on the planet, that makes it a poor decision. When we look at some of the other midfielders that have been available this summer, Bruno Guimaraes for £75 million, right? So Bruno Guimaraes went, guys, for £75 million, and we want to pay more than 60 for Carlos Baleba, who's injured. Sandro Tonali, 100 million. Matheus Fernandes, I wasn't really too bothered about. We got Yuri Tielemans for 35. We got Andres Santos, which I think is a sensational signing, for 50. João Gomez went for 38.40. Manzambi, £50 million. Sangare came into Brentford and he wasn't a whole heap of money. Zadok Johanna into Brighton, £21.5 million. There were other midfielders available for reasonable sums of money. And we thought, let's not spend 75 to 80 on a Bruno G. Let's spend more than 60 on an injured Carlos Baleba who's coming off the back of a bad season. I don't understand how multiple people came together and had a conversation and weighed up their options for the last 4 weeks, because that's what they've been doing while we've been doing no transfers, and went, yeah, that's definitely the best option available to us. Let's do that. So I'm a little bit irritated, guys. I'm doing my best with it. I'm doing my best. I'm not very happy about it. I'm not very happy. So, let me read Patrick's super chat. Let me read some of your comments. And then I'm going to look at some positives. I'm going to find them, guys. They're out there. And I'm going to find them. I'm going to do my best to find them. They're right there and I've got to find them. Okay. Patrick has said, this also confirms that we are terrible negotiators. Yes, it does. It does. A deal we were looking for, 12 months and it feels like the price drop is more to do with Baleba's form last season rather than our negotiating. It's nothing to do with our negotiating because, as you say, Patrick, we don't know how to negotiate. We're going to probably pay, I guarantee you, we are going to pay 75 million. We are going to pay for Carlos Baleba what Arsenal paid for Bruno Guimaraes. That is what's about to happen, people. Prepare yourselves. That's what's going to happen. We are going to pay more. This 60+5 is the starting point. They have said no, it's not enough, and United are still talking to them, which means we're going to give them more. We are going to pay for injured Carlos Baleba what Arsenal have just paid for Bruno Guimaraes. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? What is actually wrong with us? We're stupid. See if you rate Baleba. See if you think Baleba's a good player. See if you want Baleba. Fine. He had a really good season, then he had an off season. He's a young man. He can get better again this season. Fine. But he's not 60+5. He's maybe 50. I'd maybe pay the same as Santos. Maybe. Even if you want him, the price is ridiculous. Patrick, apparently Baleba might be used as left back cover too. Do you know what's wrong with that? I believe it. The fact that that feels true is insane. I hope that's not true, Patrick. I hope that's a lie. Fingers crossed somebody's lied. Yes, Harold. Yes, this is exactly the same as Highland. Exactly the same. Damien says, only at our club. Yeah, Mohammed. I didn't agree with you the other day. I agree with you today. Mohammed says, I think United are in a worse place than Liverpool, despite not many transfers from Liverpool. Right now, in this minute, I agree with you. Tomorrow, I might not. But right now, today, I do. Sorry, I'm gathering my thoughts. All Boxed Up says, then there were clubs chucking money at Rodri, and then with a then reported back injury, some weird stuff going on. Yeah, but you can't. I understand your point. I do take your point. But I don't think you can compare Rodri to Baleba. I do get you. Back injury is a big deal. But I don't think you can compare Rodri to Baleba. I would take an injured Rodri over an injured Baleba. In fact, I would take a non-injured player. That would be great. That would be fantastic. Poor Damien. Damien searching for the bright side. Go on, Damien, doing the good work. Who says, on the bright side, we're getting him cheaper than before. Not by our doing, we're not. Oh. Lucky I don't have the wrong news. He most definitely is injured. It's not wrong. He's definitely injured. It was thought that he was going to be out even longer. It was thought he was going to be out for a long period, as in long. And then they said, no, it's not as bad as we initially thought. He'll be back by the end of September. How bad did they think it was if they thought the end of September was soon? Also, are we just trusting Brighton? Are we just believing Brighton that it's not as bad as it was? Oh no, he's had this really terrible injury. He's going to be out for ages. Oh, good news. It's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. Are we just believing Brighton? I hope we're going to check that. Because I don't believe Brighton. It's not as bad as I thought it was. Oh, United's stupid. They won't check properly. They'll just buy him anyway. I hope we're going to double check it's not as bad as first thought. I hope we're not just believing Brighton it's not as bad. Because, hello, if I'm trying to sell you something, what am I going to say? It's badly broken or it's got a little scrape, you could buff it out. Do you know what I mean? Do you know? So I hope we're just not going to take Brighton's word for it. Right, let me go forward. Where are we? All Boxed Up wouldn't take any injured player. Yeah, because you have a brain. It's already better than us. Huge says, we have been saying for ages, no, we, don't say we, I haven't. We have been saying for ages to trust the scouts. The scouts rate him highly, and we have been trusting them considering these transfers have been long-term targets. If you want to trust them, Huge, you go right ahead. I'm not trusting this. Anybody who wants to, feel free. No problemo. I personally think it's a terrible idea. If it works out, you can say you told me so. But I don't like it. I don't like it. And even if the Scouts are good, they can still make mistakes. Nobody's infallible. No team gets their transfers 100%. Nobody, anywhere, in any team, in any recruitment, people get it right 100% of the time. I think Baleba is a blip. I think it's their mistake, but we'll see. Let me see. Tony says, how can you do a medical injured? Can't, can you? Well, what they'll probably do is they'll check the injury to see, is it what Brighton have said? Is it as severe, not severe as Brighton said? They're basically going to check Brighton's homework, as I reckon, and make sure there's nothing that Brighton haven't told us about. I think. Tony says maybe we can sell Willock injured since everyone else is doing it. Not unless United is going to be the one to buy him. Why am I being negative? Because I feel like it, Dubs United. Because I feel like it. And it's my channel, which means this is where I express my opinion. You can disagree. That's what the chat is for, is to express your opinion. But what do you mean, why am I expressing my opinion on my channel? That's a bit of a silly question. It's my channel. This is actually my place to express my opinion. As I said, feel free to disagree. Don't feel free to be rude or you'll just be removed. Normal, adult, grown-up conversation. Huge disagreed with me. He wasn't an asshole about it. So disagree, but it doesn't mean what the hell is wrong with people because they don't have the same opinion as you. It's called being a grown-up in the real world. Different people have different opinions. What the hell is wrong with you that you think nobody else is allowed to have an opinion that's different than yours? What the hell is wrong with you that you think everybody has to be positive all the time? What the hell is wrong with you that the very first thing you've ever said on my channel is what the hell is wrong with me? So look a little bit closer to home before you come into the chat being nasty. So let us take a look, because some people are happy about it. Lucky's happy about it. Huge is thinking positive, wants to trust the Scouts. And they're not the only ones. There are people out there being happy about it. So there's a chap called Adam Joseph, okay? He's a Man United fan. He's a reasonably big sort of social media following on X. And he's feeling positive about it. And he said, and just like that, Manchester United have their well, we don't have him yet. We're in negotiations. So we don't have anybody because we thought we had Ederson and we didn't. So we don't have him, but it looks like it's going to happen. Manchester United have their third midfielder for a price that is a bargain in this market. We have different opinions on what a bargain is. Carlos Baleba would have cost a lot more than 60+5 12 months ago or earlier in the summer. That I do agree with. Baleba is an elite ball and duel winner, a high-intensity presser and counter-presser with good ground coverage and speed, press resistance and front foot defending. He has coachable and fixable weaknesses for Michael Carrick, 22 years old, left-footed, with a strong and physical profile and defensive traits. He represents the modern athletic midfielder. He is a tantalising player and talent who is worth waiting through the summer for. The midfield rebuild has been completed, according to Adam Joseph on X. And he's not a troll, he's not taking the mick, that's his opinion. He's been quite positive through the summer, telling people not to panic, we'll get it done. Kind of what Hugh is saying, sort of trust the Scouts, trust the process sort of a thing. He's genuinely pleased about this. And I think it's important to bring the other side into it, because obviously I'm not over the moon about it. So let's go through it, because I don't watch Brighton week in, week out, obviously. So I'm basing my opinion on the information that I have, which may be missing pieces. So, if I look at this description by Adam about Baleba, elite ball and duel winner, that's quite good. High intensity presser and counter presser, that's something we need. One of the things we complained about in the match after Leeds, in the AC Milan match, was that we weren't pressing. There was low intensity. So if he's high intensity and he can press, that's good. Ground coverage and speed. Now that's something that I've seen sort of universally said about him, that he's fast. Given Tielemans is not fast at all, he's quite slow. Menu is not fast, he's quite slow. Santos is a bit faster than the other two, but he's not like Speedy Gonzalez. So a fast midfielder is good. I think that's important, somebody with speed. Press resistance and front foot defending. I don't know what front foot defending means, if I'm honest. I'm not entirely sure what that means. It sounds pretty, but what is front foot defending? Like he goes forward instead of backward? I don't know what that means, if I'm honest. And the weaknesses that he does have are coachable. In which case, great. That sounds very positive. If that's even 70% true, that's very good. Positive. And so I want to look at, to be fair, I want to look at his stats, not just for last season, because universally it's more or less agreed he had a drop off last season. And I've seen some people saying that was a one season drop off. He's actually a very good player. I've had seen some people saying the season before he was very good, but that was sort of like a purple season and this is his real level. I don't know. My main issue with Carlos Baleba, and I've consistently said this, is not his ability. My main issue, my main concern with Carlos Baleba is the drop-off he has last season after not getting the move he wanted, to me, shows a weakness in the mentality. To me, says, well, if he comes to United and it's not working out, or he doesn't get what he wants, or he's not getting the minutes, or something goes a little bit wrong, are we going to see the toys thrown out of the pram? Are we going to see this, a complete drop-off? That is my concern with Carlos Baleba. So he's just going to have to prove me wrong, really. So he's officially listed as a defensive midfielder, can play in central midfield. He's 179 centimetres tall. That's not particularly tall. Considering Santos isn't particularly tall, I don't think Menu's particularly tall. We've lost height kind of over the last 2 years. 179 centimetres, it's not super tall. It's not real short, but it's not super tall. But let us see. I want to have a look, and I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to look at this together. Now I hate doing this on this app. Okay, you should be able to see Carlos Baleba. We're on FOTMob, as you can see. So let's go. Defensive midfielder, can play as central midfield, right? Now, this is 25-26. This is last season, okay? So this is the season where he didn't do particularly well. He was subbed off a lot. He didn't get many starts. His season rating, according to FOTMob, is 6.62, which is in the orange. It's not dreadful, but it's not great. So let's go down. He played 1,662 minutes. He took part in 31 matches. He only started 23. Okay, that's a lot less than the one before. But let's go down there. It says heat map. So he stays central. He knows how to stay in his position, which is quite good. For starters, he's got positional discipline, right? So what I'm looking, guys, I'm looking now for the positives. He's got positional discipline. Excellent stuff. I like that. That's important. Somebody tell Luke Shaw, positional discipline. One of the things that winds me up about Bruno is he doesn't have particularly good positional discipline. Positional discipline is an underrated thing for a player, particularly a midfielder. So I like that. That's a positive. Tick, right? We found one. And then we go down here. Now this is per 90, okay? This is the percentile ranking per 90. This is how many he does of each action per 90. And then this bar is where he is ranked versus other defensive midfielders in the Premier League, okay? So, as you can see, in terms of shooting, absolutely terrible. But he's a defensive midfielder, so okay. This is passing. As a midfielder, I expect these to be better. So his successful passes per 90 is 34.87, which leaves him in the bottom 29% for last season, okay? Accurate long balls, 1.84 accurate long ball. Considering he's going to be playing deep, that's not sensational, but maybe he does shorter passes, okay. But they're not successful regardless. So he's not sending a lot of long balls, accurate long balls forward, and his successful passes is not very good. It's quite low on the percentile ranking, okay? And again, this is last season. Then we go down to possession, okay? And we're starting to see some green. He's apparently, for not being super tall, did quite well in terms of aerial duels won. That's good, because as I've just said, we're missing a bit of height. So he's good positional discipline, and he's decent aerially. That's good. I mean, touches in the opposition box, again, he's a defensive midfielder, so that just doesn't really bother me at all. That just tells me he's staying deep in his position. I don't care, I'm not worried about that. Successful dribbles, successful duels won. I mean, he's a little higher in these than some of the other ones I've seen, but it's still not amazing. And then considering he's a defensive midfielder, we go down here. And here we start to see the green, okay? So he's really good for interceptions. He's not great at blocks, but we've other players that can do that, and that's maybe something that, one of the things that Michael Carrick can help him with. Fouls committed, that's all right. You want this to be low. You want him to be committing less fouls, so that's okay. You don't mind this. Penalties conceded is like on the floor, so that's great. You don't want him conceding penalties. The fact that these are red is actually a good thing. This is recoveries. Possession won in the final third, that's good. He doesn't get dribbled past loads, sometimes once per match basically. That's okay. That's okay. Clearances, I don't mind that. I mean, I know it's against other defensive midfielders, but I find our defenders do a lot of our clearing. They kind of move forward, so okay. Clean sheets, look, he's playing at Brighton, so that's not all. That's more of a team sort of a thing, and he's not a defender. Goals conceded while he's on the pitch, 1. If we only concede 1 goal in most games this season, I'm cool with that. And his discipline is quite good. He doesn't get a lot of yellow cards and he doesn't get red cards, okay? So his discipline is quite good. So his positional discipline is good. His discipline itself is good. In terms of defending, that's his best area. For a defensive midfielder, that's good. I would like to see these get better. I want to see this get better. The attacking, I don't care about this. That can all be red. I don't care. Makes no difference. The fact that Casemiro could score all the time, that was just luck. I don't really care. The passing, as a midfielder, needs to not look like this. Passing needs to be better. Possession needs improvement. And obviously there's room to improve here, but overall, this is okay. This is okay. We don't mind these two. We want them to be low. So overall, this is all right. Possession and passing. They need to improve, because if he's getting the ball, winning the ball back, he needs to be able to then pass it forward or to a teammate successfully. So that I want to see more of. Chances created, look, it's nice to have that, but he's not a 10, he's not an 8, he's a 6. I'll cope. For a bad season, it's not terrible, okay? So then we go and we look at the season before. So I'm going to go from, that was the Premier League 25-26. So we're going to go to the Premier League in 24-25, okay? As you can see here, still really good positional discipline. He seems to lean more to the left side, but really good positional discipline. He's in the midfield. He's not at left back. He's not on the wing. He's not on the other wing. Do you know what I mean? He's in his position in the midfield. So, great. He played an extra 1,000 minutes. So he's 2,670 minutes the previous season. He played in 34 matches and started 31 of those, and his rating is over 7 for the season. Okay, so you can see straight away the difference from the season before. But let's go down. So, again, this is per 90. And straight away, even though they're still orange, you can see how much further along these bars are. All of them. They're all further along. As I said, I don't particularly care about this. It's a bonus. If he can do that as well, cool. If he can't, I'm not stressed about it. That's not what he's there for. Then we go to passing, which is much better. So his successful passes, way higher. Percentage of passes successfully completed, way higher. Accurate long balls per 90, doubled, way higher. Successful crosses, magical. And then we go to possession. Look at this compared to last season. In last season, these are all really low in the orange. This is, if we get this version, happy bloody days. Then we go down to the defending. And again, even though this was good in the last one, this is really good. Really, really, really good. So, more tackles, more interceptions, more blocked shots. Still no penalties conceded. Like what? 1 ever? 1.35 fouls per match. Again, we can live with that. 6.64 ball recoveries per 90. The previous season. Possession 1 in the final third. Like, he's dribbled past, again, once per match. A little bit more in terms of discipline the previous season, but not crazy. 1 red card, it looks like. So, okay, last season was a massive drop-off. The season previous was really good, and we can see why people wanted him. So what I want to do, and this is the last one I'm going to do, guys, I'm not going to go all the way into the archives. I just want to see how he was the season previous. So we've 1 good and 1 bad. This is a tiebreaker. Now, obviously, it's not decisive, but it just gives us a bit more of an idea. So 23-24, he only played in 27 matches, started 15. He played 1,321 minutes, okay? So not great. Shooting, not sensational. I don't really mind, okay? Here, it is passing. Expected assists, again, I don't care. He's a defensive midfielder. Successful passes, massive. That's the best one. That's the highest successful passes he's had, even including 23-24. Successful passes, 92% per 90, okay? Now, obviously, when you play less minutes, it can be easier to get the stats higher. So we will remember that. But this is comparable to last season where he still only played about 1,000 or so minutes, right? Accurate long balls, 1.23 per match, okay. Accurate, the accuracy, 62%. Possession, brilliant. They're basically nearly all green. Absolutely brilliant. Defensive contributions, brilliant. Fouls committed, you want it to be low, that's fine. Possession 1 in the final third, look, we'll cope. and he doesn't get dribbled past a lot. This is really good. This is actually really good. So, okay, he had a really good season. He didn't play loads and loads of minutes, but he played a good season on 23, 24. 24, 25 was really good as well. 25, 26, massive drop off. So, guys, see, I have concerns about this. I do have concerns about this. I have concerns about the mentality more so than anything. Genuinely. Especially because we've been burned by that before. However, what I am willing to say is that the 2 seasons, not 1 season, the 2 seasons prior to that, he was very clearly on a very steep upward trajectory, was showing massive promise, and actually did look to be very, very good in the areas that he is going to be playing in. If we get him back to that form from 23, 24, 24, 25, and last season was genuinely a blip, I'll say he's a steal. I'll come back next summer and I'll say I was wrong. He's an absolute steal. I probably won't wait till the summer. I'll probably get as far as Christmas and be like, I was wrong, he's brilliant. Because that's what I'm like. I have concerns. I have concerns about the price. I have concerns about the fact that he's injured and can't play until the end of September. I have concerns about the mentality because of the drop-off last season. However, he is 22 years old. At 22 years old, you're not as mentally robust as you are when you're a little bit older. You are still learning not only about your body, but about your mind. And disappointment when you miss out on a massive opportunity to a point is natural. And he clearly has something in there. Michael Carrick was a midfielder. Maybe Michael Carrick can help with those areas of deficiency. Maybe Michael Carrick is exactly the person to get him back to the form he was in previously. So, while I think I do have concerns about this for a number of reasons, I'm not actually as really annoyed as I was, because I hadn't looked at all this information. I'm looking at this with you live. I had not looked at this information. I didn't know. So actually, question marks, yes. Concerns, yes. Decision making from our board, terrible. Planning, terrible. But this player does have the potential to come to us and be really good if Michael Carrick can get him back to the form he had previously. So, it's not all bad. And if it works, to be fair, 60, 65, 70 million compared to most other players, compared to Bruno G, it sounds terrible. Compared to 85 for Mateus Fernandes, I think it sounds okay. And we have a manager that can maybe get the best out of him. So, actually, wouldn't have been my choice. Not happy about the injury. But if it happens, I will probably still feel quite optimistic, you know. I've done it. I said I was going to try and talk myself round. I think I have. It's not a bad signing, is it, guys? It actually is. It's all right. I would have a worry if the ankle was going to come back up. Let me check before I decide. I'm actually feeling a bit positive about it. Prior to that, he'd no injuries. So this ankle thing is not recurring. He's never had a problem with his ankle before. Is only at 22 years old, his only prior injury was a muscle injury where he missed 1 game in 24-25. So at 22 years of age, his injury history is actually incredibly good. And he's young. So if it's not as serious as expected, and he's young, which means his body will recover quicker, and it's not a recurrent injury, and he's not an injury-prone player, I'll give him a pass on it. I still think our board are stupid, but the signing itself, I can get myself on board with it. Guys, I don't know what's happened. I was really angry. I was really angry at the start of this. I was really annoyed. I actually think it's quite a good signing now. Will you see now we'll not get him? I've talked myself into it. We'll end up not bloody well getting them. Right, let me see what you're saying. I can't keep talking to myself because what is this? Do you know? I don't know if this is very PC, but I'm gonna say it. Do you know if there was a window into like an insane asylum and you'd be like, what do the insane people do in their padded cells? Hi guys, I'm here. Damien says Lou with a mini Baleba conversion. It was so unexpected. It's taken me by surprise, actually. I've totally changed my mind. I do still have concerns. It's not that I'm like, oh my God, let's just, wow. I do still have concerns, but a lot less than I did previously, if I'm honest with you. And actually, that injury history is brilliant. He's missed one game in his whole career ever. At 22, that's all right. That's all right. All boxed up, Leeds have signed Elvedi. Pirou already at West Ham and Bornau at Hamburg. Complete circle done and dusted. Congratulations, all boxed up. Elvedi signed for Leeds. Happy days. Lucky says, slowly integrate him and he'll be happy. Cool. Palace has joined us. Hello to Palace. Random says, Mohammed is not happy. Mohammed enjoyed the first part of the show. Mohammed has not enjoyed the slow sort of... Guys, I don't know how that... For me, as the more I was reading, the more we were looking at it, the more I was like, okay, that's not so bad. Did you know the end of the story before I did? Was it obvious I was being converted? Oh God, I might have to watch that one back and see. Where was the moment where I went from I don't want him to it's not so bad. It's all right. I can see positives. Your brain is so powerful, guys. Your brain believes whatever you tell it. Damien says, oh no, I've read that. Random says, I can't see teams getting past Santos and Baleba. Well, I'll be honest. I think that's actually why I feel a little positive, actually. Random, you've hit the nail right on the head. Right on the head. I think Santos has been sensational. If you have Santos and Baleba, could that be the one? So Tielemans is a little older, a little slower. He's there to sort of support, maybe not necessarily be the regular star. I don't think Manu is a regular star for United. I've said consistently that I feel that he's a good squad player. He's a decent squad player, not a starter. If Baleba comes in and does what he's capable of doing, and we know what Santos can do, that could genuinely be, a scary midfield. That could be a midfield where teams come to play and go, that's hard. How do we get through Baleba and Santos? Guys, I've fully gone off. I've drank the Kool-Aid. It's happened. I've drank the Kool-Aid. I'm talking myself round as we speak. This is ridiculous. Palace has worries. Yes, to be fair, Palace, a lot of the worries you're addressing, I addressed those probably in the first 20 minutes. And then I decided we were going to find positivity. And apparently I found it. I found it real good. So watch from the start and watch how we move from, this is a terrible idea, don't want this player, let's not do it, to this is great, and Baleba and Santos is a terrifying midfield for rivals. Guys, I've drank all of the Kool-Aid. It's gone. Right, I need to get the Kool-Aid sticker into the chat. Where is it? Where is the Kool-Aid? Members, get your Kool-Aid in the chat, because I've drank it all. Let's see. Random says Brighton played a very wide and vertical formation with Baleba basically in a solo pivot, which is even harder, which means that's even better. You got Rose says Mount is a good player, but we can't count on him, agree, to stay healthy. But if I'm the club, I loan him out next year to wind down his contract, bring in or promote a useful squad player. The thing is, who's going to loan? Who's going to loan Mason Mount? They'd have to be as stupid as us. Huge is happy you've converted me. You have actually converted me. This is ridiculous. This was an accident, by the way, guys. I wasn't planning to like this deal. This is actually terrible. All boxed up thinks I should work for United. So do I. I'd be like, right, present your case. Convince me. And I shall decide. Yes, Damien says, so now we can go get an elite left back. Do you know what, guys? Based on the story we did about Rom, see if we brought in Rom, the more I think about Rom, the more I think it's a good idea. I would like Rom. I think I would prefer Rom to Lewis Hall. And I know that's not going to go down well. That's going to be like a lead balloon. I like Rom. I like the age. I like the experience. I like the mature head. I like his heat map where he just hugs the left-hand side and doesn't drift centrally. Love it. Love that. I actually quite want David Rom. If we got David Rom, if we do this, right? Guys, I've lost the plot. You'd know it's a Wednesday. I need a coffee or a tea. I need something more sensible than Kool-Aid. This is an if, it's a big if, massive if, right? If we do this and bring in Baleba, and if we then also get Rom at left back, I'd be okay. I would still want a striker. I would still be disappointed. If we can't move Xerxes and get a striker, I'll be disappointed with that because I think that will cost us. But I would feel a lot better than I did yesterday. I'm not mad on having to get Lewis Hall. I don't really care. If we get Baleba, if we get Rom then at a good price, and we've enough then where we send Xerxes out and get a backup striker, again, not Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney, as far as I'm aware, I read the other day, but I might be wrong, but I'm sure he is currently in court or facing a case for assault. I'm sure I read that somewhere. Correct me if that's wrong. And also, even if he's not, I just don't want Ivan Toney. The drama that comes with him, absolutely not. No, thank you very much. I wouldn't mind Mateta. I would take Mateta. But I mean, guys, what's happened? I've lost the plot. I've absolutely lost the plot. Right. I need to go forward here. I need to find some sense in this chat. There's no sense in here. Right. Let me find. Nonsense. Nonsense in this chat everywhere. Right. Let me go forward. Forward. Rob's laughing at me. I see Rob laughing at me there. Right. Let me see. What have we got? Rob's laughing. Flossie's distracted. She's had enough of our nonsense. She's faked a phone call because she's sick of listening to us. Yeah, it's looking likely. I did see that about Conte to Arsenal, which would be sensational for them, but I can't laugh. I'm not allowed to laugh at anybody else's team anymore. I got a fright this morning. Karma found me. I got a fright. I have found some positives since the karma train found me. I'm not laughing at anybody ever again. Except myself. Because if I do that, karma might find me. But without laughing, and I'm not picking on anybody, Karma, if you're listening, but if Conte does go to Arsenal, that leaves them with Torres, Mings and Lindelof at centre-back. They've only got 3 centre-backs. Just saying. Moving along before I laugh and get myself on the karma train again. Just saying. Let me see, what else have we got? Lucky wants to work on David Rom as well. Me and Lucky back on the same track. Yes, exactly, all boxed up. You have to let me rant. You have to let me get it out of my system, and then we'll look. And that's, to be fair, that's kind of what I do. So I'll have like a gut reaction. I'll have my emotional reaction, what I feel in the moment. And then I'll go and I'll fact check myself. How many times have we come on here and I have fact checked myself? So you just have to let me get it out of my system first, and then I'm fine. Exactly, all boxed up. All boxed up is a fast learner. Footy Corner TV in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And says, yes, Damien, that is supposedly the plan that was put out at the very start of the summer. And I don't know why other content creators seem to be just ignoring it. We were told this. Last summer, attack. This summer, midfield. Next summer, defence. We were literally told this. This was reported multiple times and nobody spoke about it except me that I saw. So I don't know. Everybody getting the Kool-Aid in the chat. All the Kool-Aids. Love it. Love it. Let me go forward. Footy Corner, United Kool-Aid going to win the league. No, let's not go crazy. That's more than Kool-Aid. That might be vodka. That might be more than Kool-Aid. Yes, and see, this is it. Look at Mohammed trying to bring me back down to earth. Look at Mohammed trying to give me facts to ruin it, right? I know he's out until the end of September. I know it's going to take time to get up to speed. I know. I said that at the start. That was part of the negative section. We did the negative section. We did the angry bit. We did the concerns. One of the big concerns is the bloody injury. But what can I do? If we're going to sign him, I'm going to have to just look at the positive bits, aren't I? I'm going to have to use my rose-tinted glasses. I'm going to have to swap these out for rose-tinted lenses and cope. So that's what I'm doing, Mohammed. You and your little factoids, right? Keep them. Oh, dear. Lou is a believer. Let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy. Yeah, we absolutely need fullbacks. We need a left back. We need a left back and we need a striker, a backup striker. Then I think next summer we need to upgrade our right backs and new centre backs. That's where I'm at. Let me see. I don't think we're getting Hull regardless, Footy Corner. I've said consistently throughout the entirety of the summer, we're not getting Lewis Hull. Like, he's not for sale. He doesn't want to leave. It's not happening. W17 says, I hope rumours are true that City sign Wharton, Scott and Buwadi instead of Enzo. I certainly don't, because that would be a much better summer. If you get Buwadi and Enzo, I'm still cool with that. If you get Wharton, Scott and Buwadi, I'm going to have to redo my predictions and move you up a little bit. Genuinely, that's the difference for me. Where I've put you, you'll know tomorrow. If you were to get those signings instead, I would change this. Genuinely. But I don't think you will. I don't think anybody's getting Alex Scott. Let me see. What else have we got? Rob says Rom is good in his opinion. Palace really likes Rom. So me, Rob, Palace, Lucky, we're all on the Rom train. So that would be good. I just think the experience and the he's still a good age. He's only 28 still. So he's a good age, but has a lot of experience on like big stages. Leadership. I like it. I think it's a good idea. September for the Timber return, apparently, says Footy Corner TV. Yes, Damien, you have to balance the rant and the research. You have to use the balance and the research. The rant and the research. Sorry, Huge distracted me with his comment right under yours. Excellent point. Yes. So we looked at Villa. Of their 4 centre-backs, there were 28, 29, 32, 33. And if they lose Konsa, who is actually probably the best of the 4, he's also the youngest. That would leave them with 29-year-old Torres, 32-year-old Lindelof, and 33-year-old Mings. If Bailey also goes to Ajax, that leaves them with an under 21. That Allison, I think, is only 18 on the wing, on the right wing, and Garnacho on the left wing. And that's it. That's their only 2 wingers. So what they've done is their left back and their right back have absolutely been bolstered with Wan-Bissaka and Ruggeri. But their goalkeeper, they've got Suzuki. But their wings are decimated. And they've only got 4 centre-backs. If they let Konsa go to Arsenal, they've only got 3 centre-backs. And they're playing in the Champions League this season. Telling you that, fall off. That fall off. I might need to move them further down if they happen. They might need to go further down. Even Unai Emery can't do that. Right, guys. Let me see. Where are we? With the poll, what we've got is it a good idea for Manchester United to sign Baleba? 59% have now said yes, and 41% have said no. So we'll end the poll there. Guys, actually really enjoyed that show. I feel much better now. I feel much better than I did at the start of this show. At the start of this show, I was not feeling the move. I thought it was a terrible idea. Thought we were being really stupid. I still think our decision making is questionable, buying an injured player. And I still think the fee is a bit much. But I think his injury history is sensational. One game ever that he's missed until this point. So I don't think it's going to recur. I think if he can be brought back to his best, I think probably that is where Michael Carrick comes in as a midfielder. And he had 2 good seasons before the bad one. It's not one good, one bad. It's not a breakout season and then a bad season. His previous season, 23-24, was also quite good. His positional discipline is good. His discipline, as in cards and stuff, is good. He's good aerially, despite the fact he's not particularly tall. It's not all as bad as we thought. It's not all as bad as we thought. So, thank you very much for being here. We've come full circle, guys. Full circle. You have been sensational. Thank you so much for getting all of your comments, all of your opinions in. Really, really appreciated. Massive, massive shout out to All Boxed Up, to Rob Always United, to the ever generous Patrick Lynch. Thank you guys so very much for contributing so regularly and so generously to the channel. Smash the like on the way out if you've not done so. Do not forget, no 7 p.m. show. No 7 p.m. show today. Lou is on Footy Judge Mo 5 p.m. Footy Judge Mo, okay? So hopefully I'll see you there. If not, 12 o'clock tomorrow, guys.